Lord Chesterfield, British statesman and writer. Born 1694 to 1773. Life is short, but it is wide. This too shall pass. The knowledge of the world is only to be acquired in the world and not in a closet. Whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. Take care of the minutes, and the hours will take care of themselves. Be wiser than other people if you can, but do not tell them so. Life, like wine, must be taken with a pinch of salt. Men, as well as women, are much oftener led by their hearts than by their understandings. A weak mind is like a microscope, which magnifies trifling things, but cannot receive great ones. To succeed in the world, it is much more necessary to possess the penetration to discern who is a fool than to discover who is a clever man. Idleness is the parent of all vice, the nurse of all corruption, the mother of all mischief. The happy combination of fortuitous circumstances. The heart is ever the part of the body that is the most indispensable. People who do not understand the world are much more inclined to argue. The true use of speech is not so much to express our thoughts as to conceal them. The art of pleasing is the art of deceiving. Moderation is the silken string running through the pearl chain of all virtues. Know the true value of time, snatch, seize, and enjoy every moment of it. The sure way to be cheated is to think oneself more cunning than others. Patience is the most necessary quality for business, and the most useful in every situation of life. It is not enough to be industrious, so are the ants. What are you industrious about? The best way to be well received by society is to have something in one's own character or person which deserves it. We must often act contrary to our feelings in order to carry out our principles. The world is a comedy to those that think, a tragedy to those that feel. Good breeding is the result of good sense, some good nature, and a little self-denial for the sake of others. Knowledge may give weight, but accomplishments give luster, and many more people see than weigh. Politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. The happiest conversation is that of which nothing is distinctly remembered but a general effect of pleasing impression. Virtue knows that it is its own reward, while vice has to bribe others to its service. The greatest art of a politician is to render vice beneficial to the public. A weak mind sinks under prosperity as well as under adversity. A strong and deep one has two highest tides, when the moon is at the full and when there is no moon. We must often act contrary to our passions in order to be happy. Every man ought to be in love with his own wife. The true use of speech is not so much to express our wants as to conceal them. Good company and good conversation are the very sinews of virtue. The mind is like a parachute, it only works when it is open. Manners must adorn knowledge and smooth its way in the world. Without them it is like a diamond in the rough. The world belongs to the energetic. The art of pleasing is to be pleased. There is time enough for everything in the course of the day if you do but one thing at once. But there is not time enough in the year if you will do two things at a time. The language of truth is simple. The sure way to fail is to be afraid of taking risks. A man's own good breeding is the best security against other people's ill manners. Good sense is the most evenly distributed thing in the world, for each of us thinks he is so well endowed with it that even those who are hardest to please in all other respects are not in the habit of wanting more of it than they have. Politeness is the result of good sense and good nature. Haste and hurry are very different things. There is nothing so easy as to deceive oneself, for what one wishes is true. The way to gain a good reputation is to endeavor to be what you desire to appear. Men's minds are so much the slaves of their passions that it is necessary, in order to reason soundly, to put them in good humor and in a calm temper. The less one has to do, the less time one finds to do it in. Life is too short to be little. Advice is seldom welcome, those who need it most like it the least. The difference between a fool and a wise man is that a wise man learns from his mistakes, while a fool repeats them. The art of pleasing is the art of rising in the world. A man of sense only trifles with them, women, plays with them, humors and flatters them, as he does with a sprightly and forward child, but he neither consults them about, nor trusts them with, serious matters. The art of conversation is the art of hearing as well as of being heard. Truth, like the sun, submits to be obscured, but, like the sun, only for a time. The most valuable things in life are not always the ones that cost the most money. People are more inclined to be drawn in if their leader has a compelling vision for the future. The two most precious things in life are good health and a good reputation, and it is strange that we should often risk the first to obtain the second. In seeking wisdom, the first step is silence, the second listening, the third remembering, the fourth practicing, the fifth teaching others. Patience is the best remedy for every trouble. A man's reputation is what other people think of him. His character is what he really is. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing, but a lot of ignorance is even worse. Men are more apt to be mistaken in their generalizations than in their particular observations. To be always ready, a man must first be always busy. The mind can only absorb what the seat can endure. One should be just as careful about what one says as about what one does. The surest way to fail is not to determine to succeed. Be wiser than other people if you can, but do not tell them so. The best way to win an argument is to begin by being in the right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like for the next quote.